Are your lines shaky and uneven? Do you wish your strokes were more crisp and confident? Are you ready to elevate your line quality to a whole new level? This is AJ Jensen with the ToonHeadz, and in this video, I'm going to show you some fantastic exercises to make your line work look incredible. So before we dive into ways to improve your line work, I want to emphasize the importance of practice. Unfortunately, there's no secret shortcut on how to perfect your line work. Darn! It just takes practice. But I have good news. I'm confident that if you follow the line exercises in this video, you'll see major improvements. And stick around because at the end of this video, I'll reveal a special tool that will take your line work to the next level. You won't want to miss it. Now first, let me give you a bonus tip. Bonus tip number 1. Shape your marker. The marker of choice for caricature artists is the Crayola marker. This marker right here. They're affordable, easy to use, and will give you great line variation. If you check the video description in the bottom, I have put a link on where to easily purchase black Crayola markers. So if you're going to use the Crayola marker, it's best to learn how to shape the marker. I like to make the tip of the marker kind of look like my hairdo, or a shark fin. We'll say shark fin. The way to achieve this is to get a scrap piece of paper and press down super hard and swipe the marker to create that shark fin shape. Having this shape will allow you to alternate between getting bold, thick lines and tiny, thin lines by just adjusting the way you hold your marker. I like holding my marker on the side of the fin, and that way I can press down really hard to get thicker lines and go looser just to get thinner lines. If I want to get super thin lines, all I really do is just turn the marker around and then use the tip of the fin to create those thinner lines. Now, you don't have to use the Crayola marker for these exercises, but this is something that I prefer. So for the first exercise is number 1, vertical lines. This exercise is going to enhance your ability to control how thin and thick you can have your lines and develop the dexterity needed for fluid line work. For this exercise, you'll need to fill up an entire piece of paper with just vertical lines, with each line varying between different line thickness. To get better practice, I recommend using a bigger paper size. 11 by 17 and 12 by 16 size paper will work perfectly for this. When doing this exercise, you'll need to focus on 5 things. 1. Use your entire arm to draw. Relying solely on your wrists can limit your range. This makes it difficult to cover the entire page from top to bottom. When I first started out, this was a very difficult habit to break, as I was so used to just drawing with my wrist. Yet, once I became more comfortable drawing with my whole arm, I saw a major improvement with my lines. Number 2, you need to alternate the thickness of your lines by adjusting the pressure you apply. Press down harder for thicker lines and use less pressure for thinner lines. For this exercise, each line should have 5 different levels of line variation, all ranging between thin to thick. Usually I start my line going from thin to thick from thin, and I'm always trying to make sure when I end that line, I end on thin. For the next line, reverse the pattern. Start thick and do those 5 different levels of line variation and end with a thick line. Continue alternating and reversing the pattern with each line. This will help you practice and control where to apply pressure for consistent line variation. 3. Try to make sure your lines are as straight as possible. From the top to the bottom of the paper, you want to ensure that you have straight lines. And number 4, you want your line thickness to transition smoothly. Don't just press down suddenly and get a thicker line. Aim for a gradual transition between line variations. 5. Draw towards yourself. I have noticed if you draw away from yourself when doing vertical lines, they will become wonky. When you draw towards yourself, your arm and gravity will give you more control. Exercise 2, horizontal lines. So this exercise is super similar to drawing vertical lines, but they're just going horizontally. I recommend doing this exercise on the same sheet of paper used to do your vertical lines. This helps conserve paper. Now, if someone walks in on you doing this, they might be a little concerned. They might think you're performing some ancient ritual to summon the Dark One as a prophet. So just make sure you're either alone or give them a thorough explanation that you're actually just doing some line work exercises. So the key things you will need to focus on are essentially the same as vertical lines. 1, use your entire arm to draw. 2, vary your line thickness. 3, keep each line as straight as possible. 4, have each line transition smoothly between line thickness. Now 5 is going to be a little bit different. Instead of drawing towards yourself, you'll draw away from yourself. Drawing towards yourself when making horizontal lines gives you less leverage. Your arm movement becomes a little restricted as it nears your torso, which results in wobbly lines. You'll have much more leverage and control drawing away from yourself when doing horizontal lines. So let's pause and let me share another bonus tip. Bonus tip number 2, use a drawing glove to get better lines. The skin on your hand can sometimes stick to the paper, which can ruin your flow of your lines. A drawing glove is a handy tool, pun intended, that helps your hand glide effortlessly over the paper. This will help reduce that unwanted friction and make your line strokes smoother and more controlled. I have found this makes your lines look way more crisp. I have put a link in the description below on where to purchase the best drawing gloves. When I do my ToonHeadz training classes, I have the artist do the horizontal and vertical line exercises without the glove, and then again with the glove, and they are mesmerized by the difference. Exercise number 3, circles! So fair warning, this is probably the hardest exercise out of the bunch. Drawing circles is actually very challenging, but don't be discouraged. Not a lot of artists even attempt practicing circles. So just by doing this exercise, you'll gain better control over your lines than most artists. So let's draw some circles. Just don't be a jerk while you do it. To do this exercise, you need to concentrate on 5 things. Number 1, draw with your whole arm. This is probably the hardest part because I feel like a lot of people are so used to just drawing with their wrist. But drawing with your arm will give you way more control once you break the habit of just drawing with your wrist. Number 2, warm up before drawing the circle. Give yourself some momentum before having your marker touch the paper. If you make a circular motion with your marker first, your arm can sort of warm up to drawing a better circle. Number 3, practice pressure when drawing your circles. That way, your circle can show line weight. Have one circle have a thicker line on the top, and another circle with a thinner line on the top. You can also vary the line thickness on the side of the circles as well. Number 4, no tails. Tails are lines that go outside of where the line should connect to form the circle. Make sure your line connects to where you started drawing that circle. If you make a tail, mark an X next to that circle, as this was not a successful one. And be honest with yourself on this, as the more you do these exercises, the less you will see those X marks next to your circles. Number 5, vary the size of your circles. Your goal is to fill up an entire page with just circles, and it's best to mix up their sizes. However, avoid drawing circles larger than a 3-inch diameter. Exercise 4, quick lines! For this exercise, use the same sheet of paper from your circle exercises. This lesson is designed to help you practice drawing quicker and thinner lines within a confined area. And this is the only exercise where you'll be able to use your wrist. Flick your marker quickly inside your already drawn circles. Keep these lines as parallel as possible and within the circumference of your circles. So things to keep in mind: 1, turn your marker around. Use the tip of the fin of your already shaped marker to create super thin lines. Number 2, quick and steady. Execute these lines quickly and with precision. Number 3, track your progress. If you go outside of your circle, mark an X next to those lines. Marking your errors will allow you to track your progress and see your errors decrease over time. And number 4, vary the angles. Practice drawing lines at different angles. Have one circle with horizontal parallel lines, another with vertical parallel lines, and others with lines at a 45-degree angle. This exercise will enhance your control and precision, not only giving you a bigger range of line variation, but also fun details for shapes. Bonus tip number 3, don't draw too slow. Pick up the pace when you're doing your line work. You don't have to draw super fast, but be at an even pace when drawing. Drawing faster makes your lines more crisp because it reduces hesitation and allows for smoother, more confident strokes. This speed also prevents wobbles and unevenness, resulting in cleaner, more precise lines. And finally, the last exercise, the game. This game is designed to practice varying your line thickness and perfecting your line endings. You will need a scorecard for this exercise as you want to track your progress. And if you wait until the end of this video, I can show you an easier way to make a scorecard. So you're gonna start by drawing 2 dime-sized circles on your paper. The goal is to draw a line from one circle to the other, transitioning your line from thin to thick to thin. Now the real ticker here is being able to precisely flick your line into the center of the other circle. Flicking your line at the end will create a tapered line, which is what you want. And if you finish your line right in the middle of the circle, that counts as a point. You will tally your points to advance to the next stage of the game. Now, if you go outside of that circle, even slightly, or in the line too early, that doesn't count. Just move on and try again. For this game, you'll have easy, medium, hard, and extreme mode, so be sure to try all of them. So this is easy mode. Place circles just a few inches apart and draw vertical and horizontal lines. You can even draw 45-degree angle lines. Remember, to start your line thin, put pressure on your marker to create that bold, thick line, then flick your marker to create that tapered line right in the middle of that circle. And after 35 points on your scorecard, move to medium mode. For medium mode, you're going to be placing those 2 circles further apart. I recommend going from one side of the paper to the other. And as mentioned earlier, bigger size paper is going to be preferred. Just make sure that these lines are further apart. You can do these lines vertical, horizontal, or at a 45-degree angle. And remember to do the same thing. Thin to thick, and flick for that tapered line right in the middle of the circle. And when you reach 35 points, you won. Move on to the next difficulty. And this is hard mode. You're going to draw your circles smaller now, and even draw faster. And to up the ante, you're going to draw curved lines. After drawing your circles, plan how much curve you want your line to have. Do you want a slight curve or a major curve? And draw these curves in different directions. After 35 points, you beat hard mode. Move to extreme mode. And this is extreme mode. Extreme mode is where you will have to draw a swirl before reaching the next circle. Make sure you're drawing smaller circles than easy and medium mode. Also, you need to make sure you vary your line thickness while doing this. This can be a bit tricky, but just be patient with yourself. After 35 points, you have beaten the game! After beating this game, you'll see massive improvement in your line quality. And go draw a caricature now. You deserve it. Again, I'm confident that these exercises will help improve your line work quality. I have all the new ToonHeadz artists master these exercises before they go out and start drawing live caricatures. And in full transparency, I still do these exercises to warm up before a gig or a festival. And this just helps me make sure I'm not rusty, because my name's AJ, not Rusty. As promised, since you stuck around until the end of this video, here's a special surprise I created just for you. Visit www.toonheadz.com/line-work to access detailed visuals and step-by-step instructions for the exercises we covered in this video. And on this webpage, you can actually download the line work exercise sheet that I created, which includes specific tasks to complete. These tasks are designed to keep you accountable and ensure you get the most out of each exercise. And I'm offering this exercise sheet completely free. Another great thing about the download, it will include the game scorecard. You can print this out to easily checkmark your tasks and how far you progress in the game. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more ToonHeadz caricature tips and ToonHeadz adventures. This is AJ Jensen, wishing you the best of luck and boosting your line work skills to new heights. Keep drawing.